Hello, everybody. I was kind of bored and wanted to make a video, and I haven't done that for this league in a few years. Even though I'm not the commish, I just was doing one for my other league right now that I do run, and I figured give it a couple minutes and just kind of drop my thoughts in on the league here because it's getting pretty close. So let's just go into the recap of last week. So we had the first matchup, Queen Jill versus King Broman, who in my opinion is the best player in the league, most consistent player in the league right now. He was my pick to win it going into it. I know I didn't verbalize that, but like based off of schematics and statistics from previous points and how many points he normally scores, Anders is pretty dominant. He wins easily, handily, 140.84 to Queen Jill's 99.92. Big performers here for Anders was Travis Kelce, Keenan Allen, Devontae Adams, David Montgomery, and Russell Wilson. David Montgomery had a monster run, even though he didn't run very far, or excuse me, didn't get many carries. He had, I think it was like an 80-yard touchdown, rushing touchdown, and then he finished with 113. So that accounted for like 75% of his yards right there and his only touchdown. And then Travis Kelce, who's just a ball magnet. Keenan Allen finally getting, good work there. And Devontae Adams also had, I think, a 70-something yard touchdown or 60-something yard touchdown. That was huge, too. He had negative points on his defense, but it did not matter. 140.84 is the victory there for Anders, and he will be moving on to play the Jellies, who took down the United States of Sedition, which is myself. I don't know. I made some mistakes here. For one, contemplated putting in Akers over Elliott, and then I didn't realize that they were playing Thursday night because we haven't had a Thursday night game in so long. So the game already started, and he was on my bench, but it was, even if I would have started him, I still would have lost, and I would have had to, drop Matt Ryan too because he's been absolutely garbo. But it is what it is. Lamar Jackson had a great night for the Jellies, despite their pretty average running backs, starting Jamal Williams and Chris Carson getting his touchdown. I would say like their team just overall showed up. Ayuk was huge, and Tyreek Hill and Michael Tom. The Jellies definitely aren't known for their running back core. They're a wide receiver heavy team. They really don't have much for the running back. So huge performance there. And Hawkinson also, stepped up big for their tight end at 16.5 points. 152.47 over my 129.46. So congratulations to the Jellies. All my bribing did nothing. So I want my 14 cents back. Next, moving on to More Than a Thielen, Sweeney versus Team Doyle. First off, I want to say, Sweeney, you're welcome for me dropping Mike Davis. Not accidentally, but I dropped him because I thought McCaffrey was coming back, and then he wasn't because I needed to make room for somebody else. And then he didn't decide to come back. So you're welcome for those 26.3 points, and hope those carry on to you in the playoffs. 162.04 was the high score this week. Absolutely dominated across. Davis was huge. Taysom Hill's been pretty solid as QB for him. You look at his bench, it blew up. He didn't start Taylor, but honestly, it's for who you had. Yeah, I wouldn't have started Taylor either. He put up more yards. He put up the same amount of yards he's had in the last 6 weeks this week. So nice job on that. At least that hold and that pickup there with that running back. But yeah, you started Washington's D, 26 points. Just straight up overall domination. Logan had a pretty solid week too. 116 isn't going to do it. You get a 0 in the flex position. That's going to hurt. 1.7 from tight end. Especially the way the teams are stacked, it seems like all year in this league. If you're not scoring 130, you're probably not going to be winning your matchups. And, pending, the other team blows up. A lot of high scores in this just because of the stacked rosters, it seems like. Next on to Mesa Pizza, Blaine versus Kyler and Gooby. Sam losing 113.56 to Blaine's 121.52. The 121.52 was the lowest winning score from one of the winning teams here, but it was enough to beat Sam, who was coming off a 4 or 5 game win streak. So one of the hottest teams coming into the playoffs, getting cooled off. Great bounce back game for Blaine after getting decimated in week 13 by somebody. Absolutely decimated. He pretty much made everything. All of his picks were good. Didn't really leave a lot on the bench for Blaine. Arizona's D, you could say, but his Dallas D put up 19.1 points. Sam, maybe leaving Dobbins on the bench, but you're not going to bench Aaron Jones. And just Sam's team just didn't show up the way it had been in the weeks past. And that's basically what it comes down to is, who's going to show up and who's not. And there's 2 loser teams, Bjorn and Josh's. Bjorn lost, so kind of solidifies him being the number 10 team pretty easily. All right, I'm not going to talk about them because they don't matter. Let's go to the final ones then. We have the Jellies versus Anders. As of right now, the Jellies are projected to be losing by about 13-ish points. So I'd have to pick Anders here. He's just been way too good, and as it stands right now, the Jellies just have a lot of questions. Even when I was going to play in my matchup, the Jellies team showed up. They dropped a ton of points. Don't get me wrong, but I look at players on their team, Jamal Williams is a big question mark. He's a backup, and Aaron Jones didn't even get freed last week, so who knows what's going to happen there. And then you have Anders' team, which you look at that, and every single player that he has is good. His bench is very meh, but he also has Christian McCaffrey, who could be coming back this week. If Christian McCaffrey comes back this week, he's going to dominate. Simple as that. And then you have Sweeney versus Blaine. It's basically split right now. Projection-wise, is about the same, less than a point. So there's no reason getting into that depth too much. So I think it's really going to come down to Sweeney has a lot of depth on his bench. And I think the only person I think Sweeney wins this based off of his past couple of performances. But if Mike Davis doesn't play, obviously, if McCaffrey's back, then he has options to switch out. He has Miles Sanders. He has Taylor. He has Mozart. He has options. That's the thing is there's one person is not going to be, totally outweighing the other. I think this is Sweeney's game to lose, and it could come down to a tinkering issue at the end of the day. Blaine just has to go out there and trust that the guys he has out will play. It looks like he's starting Kamara this week, so that's a good start. Usually you win games when you start Kamara. I don't know. And what is he ranked? I believe he's the number 1 running back in fantasy, but I wouldn't start him either. So yeah. All right. Well, it's been just a quick little recap here from the Big Cheese, formerly known as. Best of luck to the final 4 remaining, and good luck to everybody this week. Oh, there are games on Saturday, so make sure you check your lineups and don't wait until 12:01.